how important and vital early childhood development is, and those components that really build those social skills and that resilience and all of that from a young age, the confidence, ability to speak up and say something when something is not right, to know to speak up for others. Part of these programs, and diversity programs, that's a part of it, is just as being able to say something. Hey, it's not fair. And, even in the early childhood classroom, it starts as simple as, hey, well, I didn't get a turn. But knowing to speak up and say, hey, something's not right. And to speak up when you also recognize that something is not okay for others. And I think the more that we can develop a connected community at school where all these children feel like, even if they can't necessarily get that at home, which is hard, and there's already a huge component of that is put on schools, which makes it hard and makes teachers' jobs that much more difficult. Which is why I think teachers are rock stars and should be paid millions of dollars, but that's another conversation. But this is another component that we're asking them, and we're saying that schools need to be aware of and need to do a solid job of building a community where all the children feel safe and accepted and heard. And I think parents play a big part of that because they are the first teacher. Home is always still going to be that number one and that most important. And then all these other, social areas or other agents and other places that can take part in it. So having solid school communities can help maybe those children who don't have it at home, and maybe the school then that's more preventative, and then it keeps from developing. At least when they come to school, they know and they understand how to interact with one another. And it can hopefully mitigate some of these circumstances, some of the adverse experiences, which in our huge global population are going to happen, right? For all kinds of varying reasons. But the more that we can have support communities in place and to kind of help mitigate that, I think that is how we can target problems and challenges along the lines of bullying.
Absolutely. Very well said, Danielle. I think, when we're talking about parents being able to build a foundation too, and you spoke to parents being a child's first teacher, it's to go beyond that. Your voice becomes your child's inner voice. So when building that foundation for your children, making sure that inner voice is strong and resilient and confident, you can do hard things. I'm a huge advocate of daily affirmations. As a teacher, I do them in my classroom, regardless of the age. We do them every single day. And I have, by the end of the year, my students will remind me if I've somehow forgot. But, building those neural pathways so that when they do encounter this negative behavior from another child, that it's not that they have to tolerate it, but that hopefully that they already have these really strong neural pathways that are like, what are you talking about? I'm not dumb. I look at my, this, I know how to do this. And well, we're different. We're good at different things, and I'm cool with that. Like, I'm not even worried about it, So I think that foundation of that, having that strong inner voice, is a really powerful tool against bullying.
Thank you for listening to the Willow Kids Podcast.